Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Jess Leal in this incarnation. So today I'm going to talk about feminine polarity and the feminist movement. All I am going to say comes from an energetic perspective, a spiritual vision. I am practicing neutrality and unity. I am not saying I am there, but I'm practicing that. So this is where my vision comes from. And I am starting by saying that I went through sexual abuses, and this is important because I am a person that went through all of that, and I can give my vision from a place of being a woman that experimented abuse, simply. So I'm going to get more clear about this later. But this gives me certain authority because I am talking about my own experience. You know, this is not something I am saying just by reading things on internet. So, okay, I will keep going. I'm starting saying this because I think the main wound that moves the feminist movement, it is sexual abuse. It has to do with that, and wounds that are similar to this. It is abused in general, abuse. So I'm saying this because if we are talking about deaths, there's many people dying every day. I think everybody already hear about this. And what feminists usually say is, okay, just create your own movement to fight for those people. But I'm not trying to fight for anything, actually. So of course I am not I don't commune with any ideology, my only my only path it is bonded with love and nothing else. But I did participate in the feminist movement once, and I'm going to tell you about my experience in this place, in this situation. But I want to be clear about this because I don't think feminist movement is originated from the fight for the deaf women. I think it really comes from all these wounds that are in a lot of women and a lot of men too. I am going to be more clear in a minute about that. So this is important because this wound that I had myself, that I think I already healed, because I think I couldn't talk about it about that situation in this way if I couldn't. And I already shared this story many times with so much people, and I already helped other people to transit things like this. So if somebody can help anybody, I think we are not really helping. We are sharing information or tools that serves to other people to guide themselves. Actually, I think that's therapy. But I did told you that I gave astrology sessions once. I already quit that, but at that time a lot of women who has passed over, who has went through these kind of things, and had narcissist partnerships and that kind of things, were came to me because I did went through all of those things, so I did had tools to share. That's how universe works. So I don't think this is about death, because death actually is something that happens to everyone every day. Kids, men, animals, everything. And I already told you in other videos that every time we are doing we are acting from an egoistical way, from our egoistical desire, we are creating chaos in this world. That's how it functions. And that all the chaos, all the bad things that happen in this world come from all the egoistical actions that everyone has. So, or that everyone have, sorry. So this is important to take accountability. And I am going to say that feminine polarity was off for many centuries. This is real. I think everyone can see it. Does it mean that women were off? No. It means that feminine polarity was off. And this means that feminine polarity was off in women and women and in men's. So this big manipulation, of course, because feminine polarity was annulled by people who were trying to control the mass. This is not new. This is something that happened since the world is in place. I already told this. I already said this in the video of how to face the system collapse. And they started, of course, by taking Mary Magdalene from the Bible. I will repeat this as many times as I can, because they caused a lot of damage by doing that, because they took the women power away. And they not only did that, they took the feminine polarity in men's, so they couldn't feel vulnerable, they couldn't feel their emotions, they couldn't feel there have been a lot of generations of men that are totally distorted in this thing, and they are only letting the masculine polarity express, annulling the feminine polarity. And this caused a lot of things, a lot of distortion in general, you know, all the cultures that doesn't allow women's rights, and all these cultures that even today are still happening, are programations, and women that are born in that cultures, they accept this. Now we are starting to see that change. But this caused a lot of pain in men too. This is not something that hurt only women. Um, and there's a lot of men that have been sexual abused by anybody, by somebody, and by women too, because this is not something that only men do. And I really can relate this because I've been dealing with men in the times I was offering this kind of therapy, astrology therapy, and I met a lot of men that were abused, by women. And of course, that received narcissistic abuse too, because this is about narcissists and psychopaths, actually. And well, wait, we're not getting there yet. So feminine polarity was annulled, and this caused a lot of damage to everyone, not only women. So we have to be clear about that, because people who kill, people who rape, people who do that kind of things are psychopaths, and are people that have this psychic structure. We are not talking about every man. And I think we are reacting from a place. I think feminist movement, it's a reaction, a polarized reaction that I totally understand. I don't think that it's even something bad, but it is a reaction. And I don't think that the feminist movement is trying to produce any unification. Actually, it's causing the contrary. And I am going to talk about an experience of myself, and then I will get more clear about this. But when the feminist movement started here in Argentina, I was cutting the ties with my ex, who was a narcissist, and I had to heal more. I wasn't with him, but I did have a lot of anger, and I wasn't healed, you know. I still had these feelings about him that I couldn't drop out. So all the abuses that came from him and from other men in my life, they were like they weren't healed. So this thing was that the main wound that linked me to the feminist movement. So I started to participate in a group, but I was in my spiritual path too. Of course, I was actually in the transformation, in the biggest transformation, and I participated in this group. And there's one time that this girl, she was relating something about his own life. She was with this boyfriend who was violent with her, and she was experimenting abuses by this person. So it was in a Facebook group. So I left a comment and I put that I was that I went through the same thing, that my ex-boyfriend was a violent person, yeah, and that I experimented a lot of abuses by him too. But I said to her that everything that saved me was taking accountability and taking the responsibility of myself, and to stop to be the victim. And I don't think I don't remember if I said it this way. I think I was more not that raw, but this was the main concept, and that was a painful part of my life. But I did cut the ties with him only when I could see that I wasn't loving me by choosing him, because it is something that we are choosing. And there's many studies that says that most of the women that are killed, they are by their own partners. So this has a beginning, and if we don't cut it, the shadow becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and maybe we can find death in that path. I experimented this myself. I didn't find death, of course, because I'm here, but the situation was turning more and more and more violent. So I had to choose for my own safety, And when I told my own story to her, I opened my heart to tell that story, because I wasn't healed at that time. It was painful for me too. And what happened next was that a lot of girls were insulted me. They were saying that I was judging everyone, that I was saying that that girl deserved that because she was vibrating low. I don't know, a lot of things. I had to block them because they were so aggressive. That now and then I could appreciate it, that moment, because I did realize that they weren't there because they wanted to heal. They were there because they want to channel their anger and all the pain. So they didn't want to solve anything. They didn't want to discharge all the pain in anyone. So I didn't feel that I was, hey sister, we're in this one together. I didn't feel that at all. It was on the contrary. But it was a good lesson because I couldn't continue my spiritual path just holding on an ideology that it's not coming from love at all. It is from this place, from this wound place. But I totally understand that, because how I said, I went through this and I experimented by myself. And this is very important because I am going to talk about psychopaths right now. Again, I already did that in the video of the function of darkness, but this is important because all the psychopaths are manipulating us with our own wounds, our own shadows. We are not victims. We're not. If they can manipulate us, is because we have so many pain, such a lot of pain, and a lot of anger, and a lot of shadows that we didn't work in, that they can manipulate us. Of course, this happens from more intelligent psychopaths with the mass. So the whole movement, it is manipulated by psychopaths who already realized about the big wound of the society, because they did cause that wound, which is to set aside the feminine polarity. So they reunite these women, not in order of heal anybody, because they are asking for rights to the same government that is causing all the chaos, and they are asking for rights to the same people that are trying to control and manipulating this world. So that doesn't make sense at all. But not only that, when the word right now doesn't come to my mind, this march, when the marches produces, and these women become violent, they insult other men or something, they are producing chaos, because those actions don't come from a lovely place, don't come from love. And I already said this, but everything we don't do from that is not aligned from love will cause chaos. So since the feminist movement is operating with this force, deaths and abuses and everything have raised. The movement is producing all they say they don't want to anymore. All they say they don't want to happen anymore. Sorry. So this is very important, because if we are not operating from love, and if we are not accepting every being of this world like an equal, we're not understanding anything. I know feminist movement says that they're fighting for equality, but I don't think so. I think they are very aggressive at times, and I experimented this myself. And this one wasn't the only time, because I had a lot of friends, of course, that were here. Many of them are still there. I am not. They are not my friends anymore, but not because I feel anything bad about them. It's just because we can share. I can be truthful to myself if I can share with people that understands me, and I don't know, and then we can stay in the same frequency and share from that place. But happens that every woman that I met that was in this movement had a lot of wounds about men, about her fathers, their fathers, sorry, about other relationships that were projected, of course, from their relationship of their fathers. So many of them experimented narcissistic abuse. So they weren't healed either, just like me at that time. And they didn't have good conceptions about men either. Because when you are not healed, of course, you are going to attract men that are reflecting your own wound. That's what happened to me too. So, well, this is important because we are not the only ones that were abused. Men were too, and they can't talk about this because they don't have this vulnerable part able to do it. Many of them they weren't even able to cry. That's a lot. I know that it is changing now, but it is changing because all is changing because we are in a planetary transition. I don't think the feminist movement is doing something good about it, but I think it is part of this transition, and I understand why it was originated. But again, many of these women are manipulated by people that are very that know that about this wound that society have, and they are trying to fragment us, to divide. And I think these girls were they participate of this because they are wounded, and they're wounded, and there's pain and there's anger, but we can't channel this in the most egoistical way that occurs us, because imagine if the pedophile net is very big. It's very big. I won't talk about this because I don't want to focus on things that these psychopaths create. Because I really know that in order to change things, we have to act from love. I know it seems a fairy tale, but it's not. Everything that brought us here as human beings were our egoistical actions. So if we really want to change that, we have to change ourselves. There's no magic about that. And the pedophile net is very, 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 very big. There's a lot of institutions, a lot of things that are participating directly with that, like football, like entertainment industry, like arms, like drug, like everything is related to uh, uh, the pedophile net. So imagine if all the mothers that had their child stolen went to go to the streets, would go to the streets and destroy everything and started to insult people. I don't think they are solving anything by doing that. And so the feminist movement, it's not doing it. It's egoistical. We could think that or they say that people are egoistical for caring more about statues or church or everything than the women deaths. It's not that way. It's because that actions doesn't solve anything and produce the contrary. It's about that. And every time they are doing that, they are causing more chaos and more deaths. This is energetic coherence. I'm talking from that place. So I think in the end, those women, all they want is to be healed, is to really feel okay about relationships, about other men, about other people. And I think that's not the right path. At least it wasn't for me, of course. Many people have their own experiences, and sometimes you have to experiment the things that are not helping you, just to find what it does. I experimented this myself, not a long time in the feminist movement, but in other things, because I am not a fanatist person with anything. So I always participated a little bit, and then I went out. Well, I hope I get myself clear. I really felt this limitation about my vocabulary expression in these things, but it is really important for us to see that we are not fighting for anything. We don't have to fight for anything. It's not about fighting. It's about changing ourselves. It's about healing. It's about learn to act from love, because learn to act from love, it's actually have spiritual maturity. And act from egoistical desires or acting from ego, it's being an immature person, a selfish person. So they are not angry because they are not only angry because the pain of the other women. They are angry because of their own pain, and that is what we have to heal. I understand it is painful, but we can not discharge the things that are happening to us in the way we want to. That's not freedom. That's not revolution. That's not. That's only being selfish. So, well, people, I will leave it here. Thank you, everyone, and see you in next videos. Goodbye.